Hello from Brown Bear Wargaming. I'm Jim and today I'm going to be doing a painting video of a gladiator in the Dark Angels theme. This was a commission painting request for Kyle from Richmondshire Wargaming Club. He has requested that on the Discord channel and given some ideas of the sort of things he wants to see on there. A little bit of battle damage, some highlighting. I'm going to be using an airbrush, which is a bit of a first for me, so I'm going to give it a go and see what we think of it. And let's get into it. So here we are, the Space Marine Gladiator Lancer in the Dark Angels theme. So first things first, we've got to assemble the model. I'm not really doing a tutorial here on how to do the build, but it's important to kind of take your time with this step and remember there's different configurations. This one was the Gladiator Lancer. Jumping ahead, I undercoated in Chaos Black and then just had to pause here. Off camera I did a Zenithal base layer of Lupacol Green from a top down, just keeping all the shadows intact and getting ready for the next step. So that's the Lupacol Green there, and the Black Legion contrast paint. Then to get started is the Sons of Horus. There's just a little bit of Vallejo thinner in there, give it a little test, and then just start making your way around the edge of the panel work really. This was my first time using it, so I was a little bit unsure as to what the flow would be like, but honestly just take your time and you just work your way around. Basically think about anywhere the light might catch, try and always direct the nozzle sort of face down, or direct it towards the top of the panels, and after a while it kind of starts to really come together. Every so often I'd give the end of the nozzle a hold and just let the bubbles flow through just to kind of mix the paint up, which I thought was a pretty good technique. Yeah, just keep going around getting all the panels covered really. It's surprising how quick you develop that bit of contrast and a bit of confidence actually in using the airbrush. So putting the model back together again, I think it's kind of come out quite nicely. Better than I expected to, and better than I could ever do with a brush really. It's not perfect, but for a first attempt I was really delighted with it. I decided I would use the airbrush for some of the red parts of the model and base them in Screamer Pink, and then work my way up highlighting with brighter and brighter reds. In hindsight, I wish I'd have done this before assembling the model. So again, some thinner in the airbrush and then just a little bit of paint. I didn't really overdo it with any of the paint in this being my first time, and it seemed to flow really well and just took my time. I definitely don't recommend masking everything on the model, and just do this before you assemble it. Taking my time and highlighting up the colours, going from the bottom up, I think it turned out really nicely. Then I started getting some Warpstone Glow green for the edge highlighting. This is a little bit tedious and takes a little bit of patience, but I really wanted to try and get that professional look, so I thought I'd give it a shot. very subtle detail that you're going for here. You just kind of want to brush with the edge of the brush along the edges of the model. Any sort of raised up edge can kind of catch the edge of the brush and just adds a little highlight. It can take quite a long time, but I was really hoping that the results would pay off, so just keep going. I was quite happy with the results, but it wasn't really popping like I'd hoped it would, so I just mixed up a brighter edge highlight colour and kind of got started brushing it everywhere on the model. It was a little bit scary, but just kind of trust the process and then just keep going, making your way all around the model. So that takes a lot of patience, and then it kind of really pays off. I came back in and just added some details, a lot of chrome on this model. So here I'm just filling in the rivets, which is quite a delicate little job to do, but it really kind of brings the model to life when you start seeing the details come through. A few other things I did off camera was getting things like the gold on the model done, and the emblem on the side of the tank as well. And you can kind of start to see it really is coming together nicely. Now starting on looking at the base of the model. I kind of hate these floaty tanks and the silly base mounts, but I thought I'd just kind of give it a PVA and coat it in some plaster here and just sort of see what I can do. I dropped in some little dry bits of plaster and left it to dry. Then looking at the decals on the model, something that's always a little bit tricky, but using the decal fix, just kind of took my time, let them soak for a moment, and then using the brush just kind of teased them off and brushed them down flat, and they seem to work out really nicely. A few more on the back and on the sides of the model. I wasn't sure if this would be a case of less is more, but I just tried to do what felt right. Going back and finishing the base of the model and any finer details, just kind of working my way through the finishing touches really. Adding some base texture. Add this moss that I thought would cover up the floaty thing on the tank, and some good old Citadel tufts and grass. Some little leaves, and a bit more sand, and I think it's looking pretty good. For finishing touches, just adding a few more extra highlights, little bits of detail on the lights, some of this Lamian medium and the turquoise paint just for the lens on there, and then final touches. have it. I was really happy at this stage. I was delighted with how the edge highlighting came together. I felt like I'd got a pretty good level of professional finish on the model, considering it was my first time using the airbrush. Yeah, I was just dead happy with it. Next thing I needed to do though was to start adding a bit of the battle damage and kind of adding a bit of wear. So using some of this Vallejo thinner, it was apparently the best thing to help adhere the pigment from these dust kits, and kind of started off slow. Didn't want to overdo it straight away, but after a little while just kind of start applying it on thicker and thicker and just trying to build up layers of grime and dirt where it would naturally occur on the model. Then nothing left to do but get tidied up and then get ready for the final reveal. And there it is in all its glory, the Gladiator Lancer. I'm absolutely delighted how this turned out. I had so much fun painting it and learned a lot of new skills along the way. It's not perfect, but for me, this is probably the best model I've ever painted. Kyle, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to paint this model for you. I hope you love it just as much as I do. From me and Craig at Brown Bear Wargaming, thank you everybody for watching the videos. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you again soon for another video.